Hey guys, welcome back. Coming up in today's video, we're going to have a discussion about some of the cards not on the reserve list, how they're doing, and what we think about these cards. It's going to be a great discussion. Tune in. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to the channel and you somehow found me out there in YouTube land, thanks a lot for checking out my content today. So we're having a discussion today about some of the cards not on the reserve list, just cards we haven't talked about in a while. There are lots of other formats, of course, that Wizards produces, and there are some amazing cards. I just want to check on some of the prices with you, go over some of the overview of those cards, and what we think about them. I'd love to see your comments in the comment section below. You guys know I like to answer back and see how things are going. And as the channel grows, I think it's more important to stay in touch with the player base. Thanks a lot, guys. So the first card we're going to check out today is going to be Kroxa, Titan's Hunger. Now, I actually opened this card. I was lucky enough to get it in my Theros Collector booster box opening thing. And I remember opening it. I got a foil one, just a regular foil, and then the foil full art extended in the same box. And I remember being just like, wow, that card looks so cool. The big walking guy, right? But I didn't realize how good the card was. I wasn't really paying attention. It's a few days later, some of my buddies said, hey, you got that card. You know, it's like a $100 card. I was like, really? And then they explained all the complications, the possibilities with the card. And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess so. And all the uses it has, right? I mean, Lotus and Dream Den, just keep recasting it. It's hilarious. Now, that said, when you see the price there at $22, $29, $24, and it's selling consistently, by the way, this had 12 pages of sales. So it's 1 or 2 copies selling every day. It's a good moving card. It is at a pretty decent price if you're going to be buying this card. And we know it'll go down a bit when it rotates out of standard, but that's still for a while. And it's going to have future use. And I don't see Wizards reprinting this right away. They're going to wait a while. This is when I think they're going to, by this point, when this set rotates out, they're going to start building their equity and not reprint some of these cards. They're going to try to come up with new cards, is what I feel is going to happen with some of these types. So keep this one in mind. If you don't have it yet, pick yourself up a copy. It's a pretty decent card. Now, the next card, of course, is going to be Uro, Nature's Wrath, right? Now, this card got banned. I was really ticked off when it got banned because I was having a lot of fun using it. Of course, you know, 3 casting costs. I get it. Lay a land, draw a card, gain life. Very cool. But, you know, it was an awesome card. And I hated to see it get knocked out like that so early. Now, of course, it's playable in other formats. And that's represented in the price you can see here at $50, $265 for like a foil borderless full art. This card still has a lot of value. And they're definitely not going to be reprinting this anytime soon. And I think this and Kroxa and Nature here, they were both kind of like attempts to, I feel, kind of work out if there's going to be a chase card. Because both of these were harder to get than other cards. You could get the regular version, but the regular full art extended foil version was very hard and very difficult to get. And it's really represented in the price that people are charging and paying for that card now. $200, $300 for a card? Tell me that's not a chase card, right? I'm telling you, this is going to be something. And I think they're going to build their equity. So these kind of cards are not being reprinted anytime soon. But I can see them coming back in later Master Series or Master type products a few years from now. So if you haven't got it, wait till it rotates out. It'll dip a little bit. That's your chance to grab it. Now, I love this card. The Jeweled Lotus. This card is disgustingly powerful, but not really. It can be, but not always. I love the concept of it. For Commander only, very distinct card. And of course, it really does appear, because I've checked my local LGS, they jacked up their collector booster boxes again by another $40. Okay? That means to me that they're not getting anytime soon, which means they're not being reprinted, which means the booster boxes we got, the collector ones, that's all that's coming. What they talked about in Alpha Investments with Rudy when he said he hasn't seen nothing seems to be coming from the distributor. So maybe Wizards only did a slightly tighter run because it's a Commander product. And there are no restocks coming. You just got what you were getting, and that was it. And that is insane to me to think that that's going to happen to us. So I only have one, as I showed you guys before I got in my opening. I would like to pick up a playset, so I have it for different Commander decks, even if it's just a regular copy. But of course, the foil versions and the extended versions will go for a lot more because now we realize they're that tighter of supply. I'd love to feel and see what people think about that in the comment section as well, because it's very interesting to me that I get other people's perspectives. And this is kind of insane in my eyes, going, wow, that definitely seems like a chase card to me. So these 3 cards we've discussed right now, I feel like those cards are going to be harder to get, and they're not going to reprint them as often. How about that? As often. I wonder when often means. I don't know. All right, now, this has been in my email box from a few people. I know you finally got your way, right, guys? Cobble Coffers. This is on the list to be reprinted. It is slowly rising all the time, 70, 80. I remember being 40. So it keeps going up. It is reprintable, just like Imperial Seal, which I did not put on the list today. They're saving those probably for some very prime products, guys. So paying $100 for this card probably will not degrade the value that much, because when they reprint it, it'll be very hard to get. And don't be surprised if they're purposely building the equity in cards like this, letting them rise higher, so when they do get reprinted, they have value to us, the consumer, buying them. It's something I would expect Wizards to do, is since they've already kind of printed like Mana Crypt and stuff, they're going to give those cards a break soon, and they're going to bring a couple of cards like this in. They kind of saturate the market, the price is kind of going down a bit. This is the card I expect to see happen, okay? So, but I'm still thinking it's not happening this year, okay? I think like next year. So, we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Tell me what you guys think. And by the way, the prices are pretty static here. All these cards I'm showing you all had good sales, and they've all continued on quite nicely. Now, Force and Negation. I got lucky, and I opened quite a bit of Modern Horizons. I really enjoyed this set. I love Sarah. She's awesome. Even if she's not a very powerful Planeswalker in the set, I do love the card. I love the artwork. I wish they'd bring her back in more sets. I want to see her in Commander. I want to see different versions of her. But Force of Negation was good right from the start. It is an amazing card. The artwork is beautiful, and it's played in a lot of people's decks. And the value shows. It is slowly rising, and it started like 30, 40 bucks, and it's continued to rise till now it's like almost double the value it was when Modern Horizons first came out. Now, when I see this card, what I see happening is it's going to rise higher. They're going to trickle this one out again. Don't expect to see it in Modern Horizons 2. They'll have some other versions or some other cards similar to this. Now, that could be a problem where they could kind of pair together, but I'm just saying something similar is what I'm expecting to see in Modern Horizons 2, but not a reprint of this card. If they do a reprint, it's not a bad thing, because it'll lower the price for people. If they don't do a reprint, this card will go higher. So, if you don't have a play set, I'm not going to say go out and spend $200 on a play set of these cards, but if you can trade for them, or if you slowly get one or two at a time, hey, way to go, man. But again, remember, these are all, every card I'm showing you is reprintable. They could just print these into oblivion unless they do something to protect them. Now, I still think Wizards is going to work on something. They're a very slow-moving machine, but they will try to fix this. Modern, they will try to save it. They will try to save Standard. These are their sets, right? So we'll see how it goes, though. Because they need that reprint equity. They need to be able to say, yes, we can put some money out there, and it's going to be good for us. Very interesting, though. Now, the next card up, that's right, Misty Rainforest. Now, of course, we just had these reprinted in Zendikar Rising. And now they're printing them again in Modern Horizons. But these, again, they need to be printed so people have them for their different play decks. But you notice this value always seems to stay around the same. The foil ones are like $100. This one says $130. Two together near mint copies, $140 means like $75 each. That one is $75. It's a $75 card. Okay, you're talking as much as Cobble Coffers. That's crazy. I think it should be a $50 card myself, or even a little bit less, because people need them in their decks. So I would like to see them printed. I hope they actually print them at Rare in Modern Horizons 2, where you get 4 or 5 in a box. I would love to see that price come down a bit for the average player. Not printed every year. You gotta retain the value, but I'd like to see it come down a bit more, because a lot of us need those fetch lands, and I'm not spending $1,000 just buying fetch lands. I'll go buy reserve list cards. That's just the way I feel about it. I do have some of these cards, but I'm saying as an average player, I would like to have some more. And of course, the same here. Cavern of Souls. Got reprinted again. It's still selling very well around that $70 mark. And for a modern card, for a staple in Commander decks, you're going to see, come on. It's a great card, but it's got to come down a bit more in price, but not too much more, and then keep it there. Which means let it drift up and down over the years. They've printed just now. Hopefully I'm not going to see it again next year. I want to see it slowly kind of get protected and printed every 3 years, 2 years. So you can let the market, and make it hard to get. Not a chase card, but like hard to get. Bump it up to Mythic. Make it a harder card to get. All right, last one, Scalding Tarn. I know, I like this one too. I love the artwork, by the way, in Scalding Tarn. That's why I was like giving it a smile. So when I see Scalding Tarn, I see a Misty Rainforest. You can see value is high. It sells well. It sells consistently. Again, all these cards had pages of sold listings. So I couldn't track them all. I'm just showing the most recent ones, all on February 4th and stuff. But it's amazing to see that cards like this have been printed multiple times, are still retaining their value. That means the market has an appetite for those type of cards, and they can be played again. You're looking at commander decks, vintage decks, legacy decks, modern decks. Lots of decks get played with those cards. So people don't like rotating between decks. They like to have a set for each one or one or two extra. I totally understand. But look at the price of them. And Wizards can keep reprinting them. I'm hoping Wizards will slow down a bit. Let these cards... I mean, I don't want it being $100, honestly. I like fetch lands all being around the $50 mark. And then let them kind of get moderated about that point. But I'll be interested to see what Wizards does. Because with Zendikar Rising, we saw you could possibly get 4, which was amazing. It was a very exciting time. But when you see these cards now being printed, you're going, hey, man, how often is that going to happen? Are these prices going to go down in Modern Horizons 2? I don't expect them to dip much. I expect them actually to be a little bit harder to get inside those boxes, and I expect Wizards to raise the price of Modern Horizons 2. I've got my old Modern Horizon price listing all set up, so I'll be tracking it when this set gets ready to come out. I'll be very curious to see how they do it. It's going to be awesome. Now, before we end the video today, I know are we on time? Are we on time? I haven't looked at the time. We're a little bit high today, I understand, but I just wanted to show you something that came in the mail. So I'll put that here. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way. I'm going to turn on camera 2 here. Let's see if I can do this correctly. We'll go back down here. Pardon me, guys. Actually, you know what? Nah. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to save this for tomorrow's Market Watch video for some vintage and legacy stuff, okay? So I look forward to seeing you guys, and Saturday we'll have our patron box opening, and then I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. Saturday's like a pre-record video, but of course I will be responding to everyone's messages because I'll have my phone with me. All right, guys, you have a great one today. Thanks for tuning in if you're new to the channel, and for all my regular viewers, this is MTG Moxman. Have a great one. Hey guys, big shout out to my patrons out there. Shop smart, shop S-smart. That's the way it should be. Boomstick edition. Have a great one, guys.